Tim, can you give an overview on what a cost segregation study is and why it's beneficial?
When you think of real estate includes not only real property, so land and the building, but it also includes short-lived assets, what are called personal property. So, behind you, Mike, you've got cabinets, you've got equipment, ultimately, which is considered short-lived tangible property. And so all a cost segregation study does is it goes into a piece of real estate and it says, this is what is 5-year assets. This is what is 15 years assets. This is what is 27 and a half year assets. And it segregates that out. And why that's beneficial is the depreciation code, the code for depreciation is different based on the class life of that asset. So if it's residential real estate and we don't do a cost segregation study, we have to take that at 27 and a half years straight line. So we take, $1 million property, we divide it by 27 and a half, and that's our annual depreciation. If we do a cost segregation study, now we get to look at, well, here's a 5-year asset. Well, 5-year assets qualify for bonus depreciation. They qualify for a accelerated depreciation if we don't take bonus. So now not only are we able to speed up the deduction of that asset, but we can decide, do we want to take bonus? Do we not want to take bonus depreciation? Do we want to take it double declining? Do we want to take it 150 declining? It just gives us the opportunity to plan appropriately. And so that's why a cost segregation study is so powerful, because without it, our only option is 27 and a half years if it's residential real estate.
Where did 27 and a half years ever come from? Why is that the number?
I mean, it really, you think about it, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Why is residential rental real estate 27 and a half years, and why is corporate real estate or commercial real estate 39 years? Like, why is there that big differentiation? Why are land improvements 15 years? It just doesn't make sense. And anyone that's in the residential rental space understands that a lot of the stuff that they say are 5 and 7 years, every time you turn an apartment, you have to replace it. So, why is this a 5-year asset if it's a 12-month term or 24-month term? You're going to have to go in and replace or do this or do that. So who knows? Someone in a back room decided that that's what it was.
What type of questions should an investor ask their general partnership team when investing in a deal pertaining to cost segregation studies and bonus depreciation?
Number one, are they doing it? What is their outlook on it? Ultimately, every cost segregation, any reputable firm that's doing a cost segregation study has to follow the same guidelines that that their brother or sister firm is doing the same thing. So really just, are they doing it? What do they expect the outcome of that cost segregation study to look like? Are they going to take bonus depreciation? Really things of that nature.
And is it important to decipher how they're allocating the depreciation losses as well?
Yes. I mean, ultimately, when you're looking at a PPM, you should look at ultimately how they intend on doing it. Are they going to do a straight split, 80-20, if that's the deal, and the sponsors are going to get 20% of all losses? Is it going to go risk of loss, meaning that people that capitalize the deal are going to get losses until they have no more capital in the deal? And then make sure that that is memorialized in an operating agreement. So the operating agreement is law. PPM is just how we intend on doing the deal, and here's our CYAs per SEC requirements. But the operating agreement is true law, and as a CPA, the tax law specifically says I have to follow the operating agreement. So you want to make sure that the operating agreement says what you thought the deal was, and if it doesn't, then I would question it. A lot of times what we see that people invest in deals, and then when they don't get what they thought they were supposed to get, they question us. Why does my K1 look like this? Why doesn't it look like that? And a lot of times it really does, unfortunately, fall down to a lot of people use CPAs that don't understand or actually read operating agreements as they should.
I've noticed, through the CPAs I've worked with and through a lot of our investors, the questions we get from our investors, most of the CPAs don't really understand cost segregation and K1s, and they don't really know how to apply them. So if you're an investor maybe you want to be looking at finding a different CPA or interview some CPAs just to make sure they're real estate savvy and can give you the best tax advice. You might pay a little more, but the savings may be significant on the back end.
Correct. There's been, countless times when I've received a K1 and said, this isn't accurate. And actually have gone back to the sponsor and had the return amended to correct that based on what the operating agreement should have said. It should have followed.